Okay, we have arrived. Yes, it is true. I'm gonna open it up on Facebook as well. It's the funnest thing about StreamYard. They will always put your Facebook stream to only me. I used to think that was some form of censorship, you know what I mean? I used to think it was the AI archons shadow banning my feeds. And then I realized actually it's not, and it's really just a really shitty algorithm that will cause StreamYard to be suppressed on social media. And so anyway, it's a thing we do at the start of every one of these strange live streams. And so today's a very interesting day, you guys. It's the first time we've done a Sunday live stream in quite some time. And so thank you for joining us out there in this strange multi-dimensional world. We're gonna wave this little burning piece of wood around for a few moments awkwardly, just kind of clear the space. And so settle in, take a seat if you can, take a few deep breaths. You might even smell the Palo Santo. I don't mean that in a cheesy way. I mean it very sincerely. We create an actual opening. It's sort of like this energetic web that is now created when people gather together in numbers, whether it be online or physical. If you go back to the old school days, they said it even in, like in things like the Bible, whenever two or more are gathered, or was it one or more? Who knows? At this stage, each of us is many different beings, so we can say that, we're all here and it's just me, but that's the nature of the multidimensional higher self council. I saw a really awesome show on Journey to Truth a couple days ago with a woman named Jackie Pierce, who was talking about that literal concept from another vantage point, from another perspective. The way that a lot of us are going to internalize and understand the concepts behind extraterrestrial contact is going to be when we start to understand the concept of the multidimensional higher self council, and how a lot of the extraterrestrial contacts or the internalized mystical experiences of such in this life are actually meetings with our soul family and other versions of us. In fact, it's my understanding that after this lifetime, we do get a bit of a review. And or sort of a revealing. And I think that one of the things we're going to be discovering is that many of the guides and the interactions that we have in that multidimensional space are with us. And so let's welcome ourselves to this strange live stream today. Hello, everyone. It is Sunday. I think it's Sunday, right? The year's 3030. And here at the corporate institutional bank of time, we find ourselves reflecting, finding out that in fact we came back. We were always coming back. If anyone can tell me what that's from, that'll be a fun moment of randomness. But anyway, it's good to see everybody. We're going to do some fun things here today. The very first thing you can do if you want to be of service on the earth plane, if you want to be part of something really cool and just be a part of a literal movement, a little bit of a soul family, and just a really cool event, you can open up a window on the side there and just go to familyoflight.info. It's a really cool event that's coming up in 2 weeks. If you're watching this live stream, you've already probably heard about it ad nauseum, but for those that haven't, those incredible random beings who suddenly stumbled into this live stream from somewhere in the YouTube universe, there's usually about 2 or 3 of them, and they don't know why they're here, and they're like, why did I step into this guy's live stream? It's because you're going to hear about stuff like this. We're having a really cool gathering in 2 weeks, really cool speakers, and just a really cool experience. One of the very few times in this physical lifetime lately, at least over the past couple of years, where people are able to gather together in person. There's a very distinct sort of magic right now that happens when people gather together in person, especially those awakening beings such as ourselves. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about that stuff. We're also, I think if we can get enough people in here, you guys, we need about 25 people in order for it to be really, really effective. If we can pull in about 25 people, we're going to do a really short vagus nerve strengthening exercise. Usually when I say that, a bunch of people leave. So, but yeah, we're gonna create some actual energy transference in our live stream today. Now, see, there they go. It's beautiful. And so we're gonna be doing some energy work in a little bit. And so, yeah, thank you for stopping on by, everybody. Please share this video, especially if you're on Facebook. It will be very helpful for our non-existent support algorithm. But yeah, and so starting out, I want to say thank you for being here. Let me know what part of the world you're in. I mean this very sincerely. And if you know, let me know what planet you're from. I also mean that very sincerely. Although one of the things I've discovered over the past few years is that for many of us, there's a number of really distinct soul origins. And we will be from many different planets or many different star systems, many different, places, all at the same time. One of the things I discovered really early on, at least about me, was that upon my soul entering this very dimension, it immediately split off. It was almost like an asteroid or this comet that came in, and it literally split off into, probably a million or, maybe a bazillion pieces, and was scattered all throughout maybe the solar system, the galaxy, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that was one of the first, that was one of the first tangible, conscious extraterrestrial experiences that I had in this life. And I believe that particular event was, I think, in December of 2016. In December 2016, I was at a group meditation in San Diego, California. It was really awesome, you guys. Some of you guys have heard me tell this story before, so sorry you're going to hear it again. But for the new people, you get to hear it. And so in December of 2016, I was at this really cool group meditation in San Diego, California. I think I was the youngest person there. Everybody was in their late 60s. It was really fun. I was like this kid that somehow stumbled into this meditation oneness group. And we were doing this big group meditation. It was a breathwork meditation where everybody holds hands. You put one hand over the other, and you'll hold hands like this, and you do this breathing thing. It's called Ananda Mandala. And some of you guys can look it up on YouTube. Open a window on the side and just enter Ananda Mandala, and that's a really particular type of breathwork meditation. And I will tell you what it is, because some of you guys are going to Google it. You're going to be like, "Well, what is it?" It is a woman going 1, 2, 1, 2, for real. That's literally what she does over and over again. And it's a breathing process in which they take you through each chakra. They move your breath through all the chakras, and so. December of 2016, I was in this, this group meditation, holding hands with everybody. And I had another experience about a month or so, maybe 2 months prior to that. And I didn't know what was coming. And right as we hit the crown chakra, it was like I entered this space. Honestly, it was like a pop happened. And I was within what I would call maybe just a dark space, now, looking back on the experience years later, I believe this was what we would call just, kind of an astral space, out of body. And to my left, over to my left, was a very large praying mantis being. This is where we're going to get really odd and bizarre and specific, and some of you guys will get weird about this, but it was like he was leaning on the wall. He was leaning on a wall to my left. And upon viewing this being, the human mind, the human consciousness, just, it's all these questions start shooting out. And what I was shown in that space was essentially my soul entering through what looked like the sun. What looked like the sun. And like I said, it kind of shattered into a million pieces and spread all throughout the galaxy. And this was sort of like an internalized, just an experience that I had with this being. And I began asking, like the human mind kicks in, and I just kept asking over and over and over again, who are you? Who are you? What is this? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And it was like he was answering me, and he was saying this name. And this was the moment in which I realized that I was unable to perceive what was given to me. And the name he said over and over and over again was Atma, Atma, Atma. He kept saying it over and over again. It was almost, in hindsight, it was as if this being was sort of humoring me by telling me this over and over and over again. And in the midst of that exchange, it was almost this acknowledgement within my body. It was as if they said to me, and it was humorous in this strange way, which is, one of the ways that we know we are working with an element of our higher self, because it will retain a piece of your own intuitive and sort of your own personality matrix. And it was as if this being kind of laughed at me, and they were like, purify your body. Purify your body, over and over and over again. I was able to get a very good look at this being. He was a much more brown praying mantis. I had seen another one previously that was very green, almost kind of emerald-like, that had turned into a boy, actually. In this case, this being was much larger. And come to find out later on, I actually looked up Atma. It was the first time I had heard that word. It was very strange, because the human consciousness within Matthew was trying to make it into a human name. I was trying to make it into something human. And what I found out later on is that Atma means the higher self. You guys can, open up a little window and Google it. Which was it was a very wild realization. And so, yeah, one of the early stage extraterrestrial experiences that really kind of set the stage for a lot of the stuff that we were doing later on. A lot of things that were going to come up in my life later on. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Good to see you guys. Hello, Joel Hard and Shoal. Hi from the Shire. Beautiful. I love it. I wish I was in the Shire. We're in the Pavement Shire right now, which is like a little cave apartment back here underneath the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles. So yeah, hello, Cosmic Origins. Aloha. And so for those of you guys that are here, I'm going to say it once again. You're going to hate me by the time this live stream is over. Seriously, open up a window on the side of your screen there, or just open up another little pop-up on your phone and go to familyoflight.info. They're having a 10%, there's kind of a weekend sale on the live stream tickets for this event that's coming up, and also the in-person ones. It is not too late. You can roll out to Sedona, Arizona in 2 weeks and be a part of one of the most unique and just organically flowing events that are happening within this soul group this year. It has come together in a really beautiful way, and it's one of the, honestly, it's an honor to be a part of it. I did not expect to be a part of it, so I am greatly honored, and we're gonna have a really good time. So I hope you guys will check it out. There's a number of really cool people there. You guys know who they are. I just started watching Rion's podcast or his live streams recently, and one of the things I like about these events is it's also exposing me to other people. I've been in a really, really distinct bubble. I think it was in February. Ever since we did Starseed Adventures, you guys, I've been in a crazy, crazy bubble. But yeah, I recently started looking at his work, as well as, I always forget the names. It gets really, really embarrassing. And so I will pause there before I embarrass myself further. But we have a really cool group of people, and it's an honor to be a part of it. So check it out. So yeah, hello on Facebook as well. If you're one of the 3 people on Facebook able to actually reach this broadcast, please share it. And 3 other people will also find it. So thank you. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. You might have heard in the description today that we're going to be doing a giveaway. And it's kind of the first time I'm doing a giveaway in this way on this sort of channel. It's just never been a thing that I've done. We've given away readings. We've given away, energy clearings. We even gave away tickets to events. But today we're going to give away just a few little items that I've been making. And so some of you guys know this, some of you don't. I've been doing some 3D printing in the background over the past few months. I think it's been 3 months. I'm not sure. Honestly, my concept of time is horrible. So it could have been longer. It could have been way shorter. That's kind of the nature of fourth density right now, you guys. The time's moving in a wild, wild rate. It's possible to create a kind of a bubble of timelessness as well. But anyway, over the past few months, we have been 3D printing. And so one of the things we've been 3D printing are just cool little glow-in-the-dark random things. And one of the ideas that was given to me, some of you guys already know about this, was I wanted to create little pyramids. I think I saw it going by on one of those 3D printing websites, and I was like, oh my God, mini pyramids. For some reason, it just stuck in my head. And so in the background, I've been kind of making these little things, and we're going to give a few away today. They're kind of like prototypes, you guys. I showed them on another live stream, but we're going to be giving a few of them away. We're also going to give away, I'll show this one first. Some of you guys will think this is totally cheesed out, but one of the things I did last night is kind of like a prototype just to see how they would work out, was I printed these glow-in-the-dark skulls. And so I have never been, honestly, you guys, I have never been a crystal skull person. I know a lot of people get really turned on over them in the spiritual community. I am just not, I'm just, you know what I mean? I don't know. I love crystals. I've never been into crystal skulls, but one of the cool things I found was an actual 3D scan of an actual human skull, complete with the cavities, complete with the teeth and the jaw and everything. And so I printed one of these last night. I don't know if we're going to be able to bring these to any of the events, just because it's a very detailed print. It didn't come out right, but we're going to give it away to somebody. And so how can you be a part of this? Just subscribe to this channel, and put your name in this chat right here. I'm going to be looking at it later. And so please do put your name in this chat. And we're going to do a drawing. If you're on Facebook, honestly, if you can share this video, that will also enter you. I'm going to check the Facebook shares later, so make sure they're public. And so we're going to do a drawing for this, and that's the crystal skull. The other thing we're going to give away, and some of you guys will think this is really cheesy, so if you're one of the people that's like, Matthew, this is dumb, we don't care about custom-made glow-in-the-dark things that you randomly did in your free time while you were seeing between 3 and 6 people a day for the past 3 months. So if you don't care about it, don't worry. But we also created some models of literal pyramids. And so this is the pyramid at Chichen Itza. I think that's how you say it. I think it's in Mexico, right? And so this is actually, honestly, you guys, this one came out really good, but it's also one that we're not going to use. We decided to go with other pyramids. And so we're going to give away this step pyramid. Don't worry, yes, I will pay the postage to you. So that's number 2 we're giving away. And then, yeah, there's totally more. So get ready. We're also going to do a couple mini pyramids. And here's the thing. In order to qualify for these mini pyramids, there is a little bit of a hitch. It's the first time we're actually doing, one of these. And these are going to be for people who buy tickets to Family of Light Gathering. This is a prototype one, you guys. I've been painting them. I wanted to see what it looked like. I was going to put gold paint in there. It looks really cool when it glows, okay? You get to see the shapes when it glows, but when it's not glowing, it looks cheap. And so this one's just a prototype. I did one with silver as well, which you can tell it looks kind of cheap in the daylight, but when they glow, they look awesome. And they do glow pretty well. And so these are for people who sign up for the familyoflight.info, the Family of Light Gathering. Go to familyoflight.info. Message me on Facebook, message me on Instagram, send me an email through my website. I don't know how we're going to fulfill this one. I have no idea, honestly. It was an idea that I had last night, and this morning we're like, we're going to give this stuff away. And so I don't know how. We're going to figure it out. We're going to grab people from the chat. And so we're going to figure out a way. I have a lot of them, so, it's all good, you guys. Thank you, Soul Schooling Group. I acknowledge the comments down there. Sorry, you guys. I've been ranting for 18 minutes straight. Soul Schooling Group. The Telegram channel for me is, I believe it's Blue Flame Collective on Telegram, but I am horrible on Telegram. I'm just a lurker. And to be really honest with you, you can totally subscribe to my Telegram channel, and all you're going to get is me posting music and maybe every now and then randomly something halfway cool. If you're looking for cool stuff about, conspiracy stuff and disclosure and, politics and all that, I just haven't been involved in it too much this year. We've just been doing our weird psychic development stuff, dealing with weird entities, pulling stuff out of people, and just kind of hanging out for the past few months. And so you'll just get a lot of randomness. I say this very sincerely. There's a little bit of a disclaimer on the Telegram channel. Don't take it too seriously. But there's a lot of other cool people on Telegram. And so somebody's in the group there. They will share it. Usually one of the people from our training group will share it, but I'll put it in there eventually. And so, yeah, let me know if you guys have any question. Hello, Dylan. Pyramid Sacred Keepers crew. Absolutely. What are the themes behind the pyramids, you guys? Some of you guys have heard me talk about it. Over the past year, many of us have become aware of what we would call a 4th or sometimes a 5th density, just a higher dimensional version of ourselves. For many of us right now, it is really a literal version of us that we are in constant contact with. And one of the frequencies of that higher self-contact and consciousness is coming through from a realm that a lot of us here on Earth have recognized as a new Atlantis, or just a new vibration of Atlantis, which for many of us, would be described as what we would call a Pleiadian energy. But we come to find out that the Pleiadians don't even call themselves Pleiadians, and there's an entirely other name altogether. In fact, there's many names. The Pleiadian name, and this has just been my discovery in my own journeys, it's not a name that is used outside of Earth. And usually or what I have discovered, when many people have somewhat of a contact with certain types of beings, they will instantly identify as Pleiadian. It's just kind of a label that gets put upon certain, experiences. And so the vibration of New Atlantis is very much what we would call a Pleiadian thing, but it's also opening the door to what is essentially a version of our consciousness that is traveling the cosmos looking for you, looking for versions of us. For some people, that's a very woo-woo and hard to understand thing. They hear somebody like me say it and they're like, huh, really? I don't have 10,000 followers and I don't have, a book or a bunch of stuff behind my name. So it's really just my observation. But it's an experience that people keep on having. And so some of you guys can tune into it here today. It is literally another version of you. And the synchronicity that comes with the pyramid frequency right now is that within these higher dimensional realms, the vehicle for viewing and observing and interacting with the third density version of you here is from within a pyramid, what some people would call a crystal pyramid. It is a literally real place. I'm explaining it in a very awkward way today, which you're going to get when you tune into this live stream. But the vibration of New Atlantis. So we're going to be giving away some pyramids. And so if you guys want, once again, put your name in the chat if you want to be a part of this drawing. We're going to give away a couple of them while we're here on the live stream today. Catherine Q says, why are they looking for us? That's a very good question. It's not so much that there's this hunt. One of the things that happens throughout the pathway of just conscious incarnations is that we begin to reach back in what some people call time or through the veil, and you will start gaining contact or just creating conscious connections with the lower dimensional versions of yourself. It's part of what we call the ascension process. There are a number of extraterrestrial races that were involved in Earth over just the development and the alteration of Earth over the last few, eons, and they also have a karmic, bit of a karmic entanglement with us to, help us ascend. And so, when you are contacting or when you are in contact with the higher dimensional version of yourself, in my opinion, it is an aspect of you who has a vested interest in continuing the soul's journey and continuing the process of healing and ascension. And so, in my opinion, at this stage, it is for the expansion of human consciousness and the healing of the human body, mind, spirit complex. And so that was probably way too much of an answer for you. Thank you. Yeah. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. Otherwise, I will rant in a very awkward way about New Atlantis. And thank you. Thank you, Damsel Flat Moldavite. Sedona is supposed to be much cooler than here. I think it probably is. It'll probably be hotter than LA, although it's really hot here in LA today. Thank you, Carrie Love. It's good to see you. Hello, Cassandra, as well. It's good to see your face in this strange place. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about energy. I know there's been a lot of really big kind of just waves. There's been a lot of mental energy this past week, a lot of just thought forms kind of moving through the collective. And one of the things we're going to see, I rarely talk about current events anymore, which is why a lot of people don't watch this channel. But one of the things we're going to see in the coming months is a whole new wave of just false flag weirdness and all kinds of bullshit that's going to happen. For some of you guys may have noticed there was a new announcement of one of those live action role plays that are being put on by the World Economic Forum. And the latest one, I think, is about a supply chain or supply line sort of disruption process. That might be a really awkward way to put it, but they're going to be running kind of a live action similarly to the way they did with the pandemic game. In which there's going to be a new version of it. So we've already been forewarned. There's a lot of people on Facebook and YouTube that can explain and talk about it in much more articulate detail. And so I hope you guys will check it out. But it's one of the collective events that does appear as though it is being consciously loaded. It is like being consciously placed. It's like in a queue, like a download queue, or I guess an upload. It's being uploaded right now. And so It looks like it's going to coincide with an activation of part of the operating system, which is being placed within the human body through the methods that we all know about here. We're so good at staying under the AI archonic algorithm, but the operating system is currently being loaded into the human body in very measured amounts. Not all the people that are receiving it are being able to hold it, but those that have, you know, the proper levels of heavy metal buildup and toxicity within the gut and all the other, you know, Western medicine residues, they're going to be activated on a different level. And there's going to be this sort of chain sequence that's going to occur within the human body where the next wave of illnesses are going to show up. The problem is this is something that's being activated within those that have received the operating system. And so if you haven't received the operating system at this stage, I pray that you don't get the operating system. But what we're going to see, I believe around, it looks like September and October is going to be, you know, what they call a new variant, a really fun new variant that's actually being caused by the operating system that has been placed in the human body. And so it's going to be pretty wild. It's going to be a very interesting period. So one of the things we can continue to do to mitigate and to lessen the level to which we are affected by that frequency when within others, or to just assist ourselves in releasing the toxicity. You can also tell this to the people that have already received it and are having second thoughts. It is critically important to detox the body from heavy metals. All heavy metals, well, I shouldn't say all heavy metals, but there's a number of very, very toxic heavy metals, such as aluminum right now, that are basically creating the building blocks and the infrastructure in the human body that allow the operating system to continue to roll through your system. It's sort of like a self-replicating process that feeds off of just the frequencies and the vibrations and the coagulation of heavy metal and other residues in the body. And so continue to detox yourself. Another thing you can do is begin, for those of you guys that are able, we do have a protocol in our practice right now. It's called the 30-day spirit detox. But a thing you can also do on your own is just begin learning about Rife technology. Begin learning about what it is, the way that it works. I'm not very good at explaining it, but what I am really good at doing is setting it up and using it and figuring out a very complicated user interface that allows this modality to be used with our clients. And so some of you guys have already heard this, but one of the things we've been doing over the past few months that, I mean, literally changed my life is we have been using direct Rife treatments and also scalar energy treatments within the sessions that we do. And so every time you are doing a session with me at this stage, we are literally within a scalar field. It's no longer a fairy tale. It's no longer one of those woo-woo things. Like, we're doing it inside an actual scalar field. And for those of you guys that want to check out the technology, you can go to spooky2.com. That is the manufacturer of the Rife frequency devices that we're using. And so I like to mention them at this point because they are one of the only legitimate form of technology that I have seen that does this. Not that I've seen too many, but it is absolutely undebatable. The effectiveness and the level to which the spooky Rife generators work absolutely will change your life. And so you can start learning about Rife technology. It is even possible to purchase a Rife generator for under $200 as long as you have a PC that you can plug it into. Well, it also works on Mac as well, but it works much better on PC. You can begin Rife treatments on your own. And so I'm going to put the Spooky 2 website in the chat in a little bit, but I hope you guys will check it out. You do not have to be a victim to just the onslaught of frequency interference that is hitting us on the earth plane right now. We do not have to be victims. We do not have to segregate ourselves from it. We do not have to actively avoid or shun anyone who does not make the same timeline choices. Even the reality is, for better or worse, yes, it is literally a timeline choice, but one of the things we're going to be discovering over the next coming years is that we are going to be on this earth plane for essentially the rest of your physical life. A lot of us are still holding on to the idea that the solar flash is going to open up a portal and a blue avian is going to come through and we're going to roll into fourth density inner earth. And some of us, you know, we're going to get to start having those experiences. But for most of us on the earth plane, our life is going to be spent here learning how to integrate, understand, heal, overcome, and liberate our collective. And so the idea that some sort of layer of separation is now appropriate or will somehow empower our people, it's utterly false. It is another version of the same kind of divide and conquer separation idea that we were given, just about 4 years ago. Only now we're getting it from the other perspective. Now we get to be the ones on the other side. And so it's been a very interesting process to observe. Very interesting. And so, yeah, thanks everyone. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Hello, Linda Espinoza. She says, I have a ton of hardware, titanium alloy holding my spine together from C5, L5. Oh, interesting. So you got a whole infrastructure in there. It's fused in there and I can't get rid of it. How does that figure in? Linda, I think for some people, and you're going to have already experienced this in your own way, some people get worse after those type of events. Other people, they're able to stay whole and the body doesn't necessarily reject it. And so you're going to be able to monitor how you feel about having that stuff in you. More so than I will. In my opinion, though, there are many people walking around with all sorts of metal and things inside their body, and they're doing very, very well, just as there are a number of people without organs and spleens. And the reality is we can overcome, you can handle it. In certain cases, it's going to be appropriate. It's probably appropriate, or it may have been needed on some point to just help your body heal, or just, to continue, or, keep everything together. And so I would say, your body may have normalized to it, but I would really look at the quality of your health, look at the quality of your mental and emotional body, which honestly we can do, not to get weird. But I think we've even done this before, Linda, because I remember you. So thanks for being here. But I would say, honestly, the heavy metal, at least just in looking at the first flash of information that comes through for you, Linda, has more to do with releasing emotion and less to do with toxicity, which is actually a really good thing, because that's absolutely one thing that you can control and release. Oh, thank you. Thank you for confirming it. Yeah, honestly, you do not feel sick to me. So thank you for saying that. I see your comment down there. Yeah, it's probably more about emotional healing, but I also say that because I'm in that boat, and so sometimes it's easy for me to go, oh yeah, you feel like me in a certain way. It's about emotional healing. But anyway, thank you. I hope that makes sense. I see a really cool comment down there. I see. Hello, how's it going? Thanks for stumbling into this strange live stream. Is shedding a farce? If not, what can we do if we're not jabbed? Here's the thing. No, it's not a farce. It's been well documented. But the reality is anything you put into the human body is actually going to be shed or excreted through the skin, whether it be an operating system or just something you ate, like a bunch of garlic. See what happens after that. I don't mean that in a sarcastic or silly way. It's just a really good example of how the body's going to shed the essence of a certain thing. And so shedding is absolutely real. Now, one of the things that's happening, or what I have observed with the shedding idea right now, is that some people are reacting to a very high level of heavy metal and frequency interference that is within the body that will kind of coagulate around certain areas. It'll affect people in certain places in the body. Very empathic people are going to feel it more than others, but there's a lot of other people on the earth plane that will have no effects from being around other people that have the operating system uploaded into the body. And so I think if you don't have it, just continue to keep yourself whole, and honestly, just continue to maintain your body, and don't give in to the sort of collective fear frequency. I do not have any fear of it. It's not been something that I have actively avoided, but it's something that I will never, ever participate in. And I would say just continue to heal the emotional body more so than anything. One of the things I've seen with people right now is that you'll watch somebody on social media with a high follower base or just a lot of social media credibility that will have I'm just going to say it, I'm going to be real, that will have very little discernment or ability to actively or critically engage with looking at people's energy. They will only be able to read the most prevalent emotion or frequency. And so people are going to hear about a thing, an idea right now, and kind of like, tin cans with strings attached, they're going to misinterpret and receive a certain amount of it. And what's happening with fourth density energy is that you're going to share the feeling. more so than you share the data, more so than you share the thought form. And so people are getting scared and avoidant and honestly creating a thought form that they're sharing in between each other that are causing them to remain sick or continue to stay on a separation timeline. We have huge YouTubers who are now dispensing this so-called truth knowledge through, the lens of a novel that they're writing, and we have people signing on to it as if it is literal fact. The fun part about it is that, a good part of it is real. But the even better part is that we get to choose the timeline that we're on. And, for me, I have chosen a timeline right now where it is not a threat to my safety, it is not a threat to my sovereignty. As far as I can tell, we have entered a little bit of what we would call a consent-based planetary law system right now, which I know is opening the door to a really weird can of worms in this discussion, but it looks like it happened recently. I don't know the exact date, but it was something that kind of trickled down through what I would call kind of like the multidimensional web and just the collective consciousness. It was referenced, I think, in a number of things around the time COVID started to jump out. But what I think it was is it sort of coincided with a turning point that took place with our collective consciousness, where we were given an option into things we wanted to buy into. We were given an option into how we internalized our worldview. And then what happened was that for those that were able to be cognizantly aware of that switch or that choice, we began to broadcast that reality outside of the body. And so one of the places that we broadcast that energy outside of the body is the Earth Star chakra. But anyway, I'm just ranting on your question, so forgive me. But I would say continue to detox the self. And going back to your question, continue to take care of the emotional body. And whatever you do, don't buy into the fear frequency or the idea that we need to separate from everything and, create this wall of hostility against everyone who doesn't buy into the same timeline as us. Anyway, sorry to blow up that question, but thank you. Hello, Miss Liz White Swan. Good to see you. Geraldine Hale, good to see you again as well. Hello, everyone. Jewel Heart and Soul, can we do the Vegas nerve thing? We will not leave, I promise. Oh, thank you actually for reminding me. That's a really good idea. Yes, absolutely. Earlier when we started this live stream, before I started ranting about mini pyramids, and that turned into ET stuff, and that turned into what, New Atlantis, and I think that turned into a strange angular talk about, injections and human operating systems. Yes, absolutely. We're going to do a vagus nerve centering exercise. Why would we want to do that, though, everyone? Seriously, why would we want to do vagus nerve centering exercise? Well, for a lot of us, you guys, the vagus nerve is what we would call one of the primary highways within the physical body for relaying intuitive information. On a physical level, I think it's probably the longest nerve in the body, or one of the longest ones. And it's relaying a tremendous amount of anatomical and systemic information throughout the body. But it is the literal highway for psychic impulses and intuitive signals in the body. And so when we strengthen our vagal tone, we strengthen not only the physical body's ability to bounce back, to recover, to regenerate itself, to be cognizantly aware of what is happening within its own internal systems, but we also reconnect and just recenter our spiritual bodies. It's kind of like pulling everything outside of you back down into the place where it's meant to be. And so yeah, we're going to do that in just a moment. Thank you. It's incredibly helpful. And the really fun thing about when you work on vagus nerve as a group or a collective, it works so much better. It is crazy how it works. And so if you're feeling a little bit nervous, a little bit severe, if you're feeling a little bit triggered and you have a lot of emotions in your body, and it'll be very helpful. So I see another question. I see. Thanks for coming back. How do we detox metals? I will give you my method. The really fun thing is everyone's an expert nowadays, and as soon as you say this way, someone goes, this is better, do this way. And so I'm going to tell you what works for me, and the people that have been in our training programs and my clients, and you please take what fits, throw the rest out. But one of the most useful things I've been taking over the past, I think 2-3 years now, has been liquid bentonite. You can get it on Amazon. It comes in a bottle. Only get the liquid version, please. Liquid bentonite. Take about 2 tablespoons at night in a really big glass of water, and that will create the process of actually scrubbing and loosening up the lining around your intestines, releasing, and just, it's like a very soft and gradual detox, and it's a thing that will work. It literally works, but you're going to have to maintain it for, I'd say, about 2 months. 2 months of liquid bentonite, probably every day. Then another thing you can take in the morning, which has been very helpful, is fulvic acid, Fulvic. A lot of people talk about it. Not a lot of people take it. Fulvic acid is very helpful. Why do we take fulvic acid? A lot of people who know me have heard me say this a million times, but I'll say it again. Fulvic acid, by my observation, helps. It passes the blood-brain barrier, number one, which some people who understand chemicals in the body will say it can't do. Actually, it does. It literally passes through the blood-brain barrier, and it begins to oxidize layers of, in some cases, aluminum, in some cases, other just little bits of what we call metallic plaque around the sides of the brain. It is very, very reliable, but it's also a thing you got to take for, I'd say, about 2 months. Another thing you can take, which helped me tremendously, was chlorophyll, straight up chlorophyll, as well as iodine with kelp. That was very, very helpful. There's a number of other things. Oh Lord, I always forget. Oh, thank you. Magnesium is very helpful. It's going to help reset some of the emotional circuits, and liquid silica, also very helpful. You're going to notice magnesium and silica, those in the know, those are not going to detox your body from metals, but what they will is add in the proper amount of mineral balance into the body that can allow the bonds, or the crystalline bonds in your cells, to form outside of the heavy metals, that especially for people that have received the operating system, the heavy metals in your body are going to continue to bond together. And they're going to continue to facilitate the operating system. And so by breaking that up and by filling in the spaces with what we would call a crystalline energy, something that is born from just the ingestion of silica within the body, other things as well, it's going to help replace some of those things. So that will also release heavy metal from the body. Another thing that was very, very helpful for me was castor oil packs. And so other people in the know are going to be like, what do you mean castor oil packs? That doesn't detox your body. You're right, it doesn't. But what does it do? The castor oil breaks up and releases the toxins from inside the layers of fat in your abdomen and around your waist. It's incredibly helpful in helping your liver begin to kind of, honestly, the liver will kind of, it'll shake and twist, and it'll start to release toxins. And it'll happen all throughout your gut. And so when people are doing heavy metal detoxes, there's a million things you can take. Like I said, everybody's an expert. Some people are into zeolites. Some people are into diatomaceous earth. Some people like me are like, all you need is bentonite. Honestly, take what works and try whatever you can find. But please do, whatever you take, give it a month, because a lot of people think that you're going to do a detox in 2 weeks. And they're like, I'm going to do this detox, and you'll take this thing for 2 weeks. And then they'll just go back to consuming shit afterwards. And what you're really doing is you're just pushing a lot of the waste and a lot of the buildup through the intestinal canal. And it's very, very long. And you'll be able to create movement. In some cases, you'll even have certain amount of matter and just stuff will release from the body. But when you use things like bentonite over the 2 month period, it will literally move it all out of your body little by little. And so thank you. I hope that makes sense. Sorry to keep ranting on all this stuff. Mystic Macrophage, thanks for hanging out. What are your thoughts on Shilajit? That's a very good question. I love it. I have taken it every day at times. There's a company called Dragon Herbs that sells a really good version of Shilajit in capsules that works very, very well. It also has it makes up, I think, kind of the root elements of fulvic acid, and I think humic acid, I think, is another compound in there, which is incredibly helpful. What does it really do, you guys? I think it oxidizes just layers of buildup from inside the human body, and it really helps things burn cleaner, or at least that's been my observation. And so thank you, IC. Thanks for hanging out. Someone is selling what is called a med bed generator for $20,000. I have seen those. I've looked at them at length. I've looked at the Keshe Foundation version of it. I've looked at the energy of it. I have looked at all of the people, or not all of them, a large amount of people linked with the fantastical elements of a divergent secret space program timeline that's being kind of loaded upon the populace. I have watched everyone kind of foam at the mouth about the medbed scene right now, and I'm just going to give you my view on it, and I hope it doesn't come out as harsh. Number one, they're literally real. It is a technology that exists. And so one of the ways you guys can figure out what actually exists and what doesn't, if you are being told that it doesn't at this stage, and if it is part of the collective consciousness and something that is being talked about and just constantly shared back and forth. Believe it or not, that is a sign that it has entered the collective consciousness and exists on a certain level. And that's from a more conceptual point of view. But from like a real life, perspective, med beds are real. There's a number of them. I don't know that there's too many being used on the Earth plane right now. I know that there's kind of versions of kind of holographic stuff. And my true opinion, you guys, is that I believe that they're absolutely unnecessary. I think it is a form of hopium that is just being uploaded into the collective consciousness right now that continues to keep us waiting and wishing and hoping for some, just some, flash of light or a device that somehow the government, right, they're just gonna give it to you. They're just gonna release it, and everyone's gonna be healed and all your problems go away. For me, that flies against the literal foundation of what we come to Earth to experience. I believe that we come to Earth to go through a path of self-healing, self-realization, to understand the self, to understand the process of love, to understand the process of separation. And one of the things that I've discovered is that there are no instant paths. There is no hand or piece of technology that's going to be given to us on the Earth plane that's going to make those things go away. There will be many forms of technology that will have incredible benefits. They will change lives. They will probably be able to regenerate limbs over the next 10 years, or well, they already are, but it's going to be shown on a different level. And so bits of what we will call medbed technology are going to roll out. We're going to get a bit of it here, a bit of it there, but it's going to remain, I think, kind of a tool of kind of like the upper echelons of Earth elitists until a big change happens. And even then, or rather until then, though, we have all of the tools that you will need to completely regenerate the human body available to you right now. Literally everything you need is here on Earth. And so it could be rife technology, it could be detoxification, it could be emotional healing. But anyway, thank you, iSeek, for opening the door for me to continue to rant about medbeds. Some people get mad when I talk about them. There's been weird angular halfway, arguments on Facebook because some of us, have the guts to just be like, you guys, this is hopium. It is real, but everything you need to do that is here now. So anyway, sorry, I'll stop. This is why only 3 people on Facebook watch us. The AI hates it. Oh, and there we have Ryan Frederick. Thank you for the confirmation. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We're going to take a couple more, and then we're going to do a vagus nerve exercise. So thank you, Debbie Cornell. I love 3D printed items as well, actually. Absolutely, I do. Thank you, Arta Gyakova. I probably massacred your name, and thank you for being here. I have these vibrations in my legs. Sometimes I feel my whole body is ringing. I really can't find out what's triggering this. Any thoughts? Well, it could be a number of things. I have also experienced a very harsh and crazy vibration within the body at times that I was unable to control. One of the first times that happened for me was when I went to Mount Shasta for the first time. I think it was in 2015. And I went up to a place called Castle Lake with a bunch of people, and there was a vibration of energy there that was so strong that my whole body was vibrating and ringing. There was a few people that were really helpful, and they kind of helped hold me still, literally helped hold me still. It was very difficult. I think that happens for us at times in which there's a very high level of just energy vibration in the body. In certain cases, the energy body could be very pressurized, meaning you'll have a lot of unexpressed or just suppressed energy in the body. In other cases, places like our crown chakra could open up on a very wide level and allow a free flow of energy through the body, as could the Earth Star chakra underneath your feet will allow a really big burst of energy from underneath the body. But another thing can happen in which, say like the Earth Star, which is underneath your feet, will be open, and the crown chakra could be restricted or closed. And what will happen is you will feel like a balloon that's about to pop. Some people get manic, some people get shaky, some people get dissociative. It's one of the things that causes a thing called chi sickness, which is very real. Very, very real. There's also like another term, I think they call it kundalini madness or something. That's not the right word. Sorry, it's another word, but it's when there's too much energy within the body and there's no way for it to get out. And so it could be that, Arta. It could also be just that you're in a really high level of activation. And I would, whenever weird stuff like that happens now, this might be an overly simplistic way to describe it, but whenever weird stuff like that happens to me now, I tend to look at the emotional content of it. I look at the feeling behind it, and just the emotional nature of the sensations that are brought into my body. And what I have noticed, at least for me, is that will give me a much more clear readout of the nature of that energy. Look for the emotions, for the feelings. In some cases, there'll be fear or negativity or anger underneath, and that's going to give us a little bit of a signal as to, what's going on in the body. But in other cases, like I said, you could just be really activated. And so, thank you. I hope that helps. I saw some other good questions. I said we were going to do a Vegas nerf thing, which we are. I'm totally lagging on it, you guys. Thank you, Damselfly Moldavite. What are your thoughts on AI as well as Jasara Nasara? I think that part of Nasara is literal hopium frequency that is being uploaded into the collective consciousness. I think that there are fundamental aspects of the currency revaluation and just the resetting of financial flow on the earth plane that are going to take place regardless. But I have not seen at this stage any concrete evidence to indicate that this sort of Nasara and Jasara process is anything other than a fantasy that is being passed around by just people within, the CIA-funded disclosure groups who have tremendous followers. They have tremendous engagement. And it's kind of one of the offshoots of the thought form programming that's happening. I would say anything at this stage, you guys, that keeps you in a state of waiting because it's going to happen. Any one of those guys, it's about to happen. It's happening this week. They just announced it. Any one of those thought form engagements, in my opinion, are examples of ways in which we are being held back or just kind of keeping ourselves limited. And so to me, Nasara and Jasara are absolutely unnecessary on the earth plane. And I'm not saying that because I'm in a place of great abundance and I have an easy life. I live in a literal studio, one-room apartment in Los Angeles. And so, I would love to see a mass revaluation and, some strange collateral account show up out of nowhere with, what was it, $1.4 million? I would love to see that happen. But in the meantime, while everyone's waiting for that to happen, I'm going to be continuing to try to, create my own form of abundance and to continue to move toward a timeline in which there is no need. There is no need for those things because the earth goes through our own gradual organic change of understanding and awakening. For some people, that's an overly idealistic mindset. They'll be like, what are you talking about? Didn't she see so-and-so's blog? So-and-so said this is going to happen. And they just announced this. And don't you know, it was in that, something or other. And yeah, there's always going to be the next report. Not that I don't enjoy those, because I do. I love watching those guys. It's been really, really good entertainment. I absolutely love it. My thoughts on AI. I think AI is a fact. It's part of the gradual advancement of human consciousness. At a certain stage, we will come to a choice point in which many people on the earth plane will choose to go down what we would call the artificial intelligence timeline. It's really just a choice. And so AI is absolutely real. I think there are a number of politicians and celebrities that are actually, they have this very interesting form of AI software that has been uploaded into the body. We'll understand in the future it's similar to something called droning, or what some of us right now even appear as clones. It's actually an overwrite that takes place within the human body that is facilitated by the uploading of a semi-conscious, kind of like a script that will go into the body, and it begins to self-replicate. And so there's a number of forms of it. There's the consumer AI that everyone's working with on their phones. There is just a number of forms of it. So anyway, sorry, I'm not going to go on a huge AI rant. But I am one of those people that chooses to remain 100% organic. And so I believe we have all the tools within us already to experience and create the internalized human internet, to be in constant contact in much the ways that many people in humanity will be picking up technologically in the coming years. That's going to be a fun one, you guys. Within the next 5 years, there's going to be a really big wave of, consumer implantation. It's going to be something that we get to exist alongside with. alongside with the whole thing. So we get to watch it, and some people are going to experience it. One of the really interesting and creepy things that's going to show up in the coming years are sensory stimulators. And as they get the sort of brain implant process going, what they're going to start doing is simulating sensations in the body. Yes, absolutely. I also disagree, Dana. But what they're going to be doing is, replicating sensations in the body, and you're going to be able to download a feeling. You're going to be able to experience it just by connecting with it in that internalized mental framework. It's a really, really creepy thing. People are absolutely going to be losing their sovereignty the more and more they connect with that AI frequency. And so right now it sounds really like a very crazy woo-woo thing, And so, but it's absolutely real. Lots of people on the Earth plane are already involved in the testing and the integration of those things. So yeah, you'll watch. It really does creep me out, though. I mean, I am not on any level in support of that. But one of the things we're going to see is that we get to exist alongside the multitude and just the myriad of contrasting and, all the timelines. We are in this age in which we get to experience them all. So anyway, I'm ranting in a very awkward way about that. So it is. It's literally the Matrix. Thank you, Cassandra. Or maybe, who knows? I have this idea that a lot of us are kind of on a ship right now, and we're just going through these processes and these experiences and screens and tubes and watching ourselves down here on Earth in these beautiful ways. And I don't know, in my opinion, Earth is the greatest honor in the galaxy right now. So thanks, everybody. This is a good time to do our vagus nerve exercise. Oh, our time is perfect. We're going to do a vagus nerve exercise, and we're going to give away a few items. And so if you're ready, for those of you that are still on this live stream, our gear is going to shift, and we're going to do some literal energy work. And so some of you guys are going to click off instantly. Perfect. Feel free. For those of you guys that want to be a part of a very unique healing process, let's just center the body. We're going to take a few slow, deep breaths, honoring the energy of the moment, honoring the strange choices, the somehow accidental way that you clicked on this live stream today, honoring the thought forms, honoring the emotions, honoring the desires in your body, the question marks, the pains, the triumphs, the traumas. We just honor every single bit of this earthly realm, and we honor our ability to shift, to change, to create healing. So what we're going to do today is 3 tones. Some of you guys have done this with me before. It's really fun because it means we're going to be making some weird sounds on YouTube and Facebook. Your family members will be like, what? Your dog will be like, huh? But it's really fun, and it's going to help us open up the 10th pair of cranial nerves on the body, which is the vagus nerve. And so we're going to help you find the vagus nerve first. You guys can see the side of my head here. I want you to take your fingers and find your ear, find the base of your skull, find your jaw, and put your fingers right back here. Find that bundle of tendons, you guys. You can put 2 fingers in there and kind of start palpating. You're going to do it on the other side too. Take your fingers, put them right behind the ear, and just feel that big bundle of all those tendons and everything back there. Just kind of grab onto it, everyone. And what you're going to start doing with me here is you're going to pull, stretch your skin, pull it, kind of palpate it, move your fingers around. Take some very deliberate breaths. Just kind of, it's like you're squeezing a toothpaste tube. Some of you guys that have done private sessions with me, it's very much like we're squeezing this toothpaste tube. You're pulling the energy down your neck, putting a little bit of pressure. It's not like you're not pressing, but you're actually moving the skin. You're actually stretching. You're also going to be helping to open up your lymph nodes. And some of you guys will notice as you start moving this area down here, your face will warm up. For some of you guys, you'll get a little bit of itchiness. You'll get a little bit of movement in your face. One of the reasons why that happens when we start stretching and palpating down here is because you have a big bundle of lymph nodes. and then it starts to coagulate and build up down there. And when we begin to vibrate the vagus nerve, we also begin to vibrate and move lymphatic fluid in the body. It's incredibly vibratory, it's incredibly mobile, but it gets stuck. And so before we create some vibrations, just keep grabbing, kind of palpate, kind of massage that. The second place you can go is right down here on your collarbone. A lot of you guys, you feel that little notch right at the base of your throat, right? That little notch. Well, if you kind of tighten up your neck, you know, kind of go like that, kind of tighten everything up, you'll notice you have these tendons right here. I can't really do it right now for some reason. It's awkward, but you'll find those tendons right here. The next thing you're going to do is bring your hands down and just start palpating, and actually, I'll just kind of get closer. You're going to actually stretch your skin here. It's like you're not pressing real hard in. You're stretching the outer layers of the body. You're stretching around your collarbone. You're kind of almost like, and some of you guys will be able to see this, it's like you're pulling the skin up. You're pulling it. You're not doing it hard, but you're kind of, oh, there you go. Dana, you are literally doing it. It'll make you cough. Some people will get a little bit warm. If you really work with this area, I think more than half of the lymph nodes in the body, you guys, I think there's over like 700 and something of them. I think that over half of them, by my understanding, are actually from the chest, or I think about the diaphragm up. And so more than half of the lymphatic fluid in your body will build up within certain areas. And so the reason why we start moving these before we do a vagus nerve exercise is because that's one of the things that actually helps it work. You can just open the vagus nerve by singing or humming, but when you take a couple steps before that and start to, it's like you'll make some, you know, it's like you'll set the groundwork for it. Makes it work much better. And so just kind of stretch a few more times, you guys. We're not going to spend too much time on this. You can actually grab it a little bit. It's like for some of you guys, you can put your fingernail or your fingers into your collarbone, stretch it around. If you want to go all the way, everyone, if you're bold, another thing you can do is hold your armpit up and start smacking. You don't want to do it too hard. It's like a little bit of a thud. You just kind of hit on the armpits, and that is going to help that lymphatic fluid start to work its way down there through your body, and it's going to help us vibrate the vagus nerve. So in the background, a couple of you guys are actually doing that. I can feel it. Thank you. You're going to notice a huge effect. And so stage number 2, you guys, we're going to take 3 breaths. On the third breath, we're going to do 3 tones. A lot of you guys are going to be familiar with this process, but it's a form of scalar wave technology. The human body creates it. When we allow ourselves to vibrate with intention, we can activate areas of the body in ways that are absolutely unprecedented. And so we're going to do it together. Let's close our eyes. I always get weirdly congested on live streams. It's happening now. You can tell. And so let's take a few slow breaths. If you can close your eyes, hopefully you're not driving. Hopefully you're not driving, and just take a few slow breaths with your eyes closed. Acknowledge that you're within a multi-dimensional soul group of beings gathered together all over the world, seemingly randomly, seemingly by accident. We understand there are no accidents in this earthly realm. And so we're going to take 3 breaths in as a group, as one unit, as one organism. And on that third breath, we're going to create a vibration. It sounds like this. So you may or may not have heard that. Due to the limitations of the social media technology and also StreamYard, there's a good chance that when I do that tone, it'll go and the sound will cut, or it'll be very strange. The good news is the energy works the same. But you allow yourself to vibrate. And so even if you can't, you're going to be receiving this energy. But before we begin, I'd like you guys to just hold your hand up. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. You can hold one hand up. Why do we do this sometimes, you guys? Because it helps you receive energy. Some of you guys, it's going to be a little bit like you're going to receive it in your hand. And so take a couple slow breaths. You can put your hand up. Some of you guys are going to feel the energy entering your hand as well. But we're going to take 3 deep breaths, and on the third one, we're going to allow the body to vibrate. So notice your palm as well. I have a really open energy portal right here right now. So some of you guys are really going to feel this. But just close your eyes. You can leave your hand up if you want. Here we go. Breath number 1. Let everything out. And Breathe in 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And release. If you're out there holding up your hand, notice the change in sensation, change in temperature. Here comes breath number 2. Notice the change. Notice the temperature in your body. Let's take that breath in 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And release. If you're holding that hand up, feel your hand. Notice the change in the energy. Absolutely. I can feel you guys. I know some of you guys are out there getting this as well. And so just honor whatever sensation you get, no matter how large or how small. Even if you get a bunch of thought forms in your body that tell you about how it's not working, or you don't know how, or you don't know what it feels like, that's okay. You're creating new neural pathways in the body that allow you to experience multidimensional energy on a different level. And so for those of you holding your palm up, we're going to take one step further. And on this third breath, as we exhale, we are going to tone. We are going to vibrate. So for all you strange multidimensional adventurers out there, this is a time to really go for it. And so you're going to notice an incredible sensation enter your body. You want to make it work even better? Take this other hand and place it right here at your throat. We have one hand receiving, one hand sending energy right into the vagus nerve. Grab those tendons right there. It's like a plug. Here we go. We're going to vibrate the body. This is it. Direct vagus nerve stimulation. Let all that breath out. Take a deep breath in 3, 2, 1. Very good. We kept that one low. That was a low vibration. This one's going to go a little higher. Notice your hand. Notice the vagus nerve. For those of you guys that can let yourself vibrate, notice how it changes on the second tone. That was a lower frequency. We're going to bring it up to the chest. Get ready, you guys. It's going to go even higher. Allow whatever shows up. Go. Let all that breath out. Let's vibrate. Breath in. There you go. For those of you guys doing this, notice how your system's already changing. Notice how your mind's already more quiet. We're going to do one more step. This is the unannounced part. For those of you guys out there really willing to go for this, this is really going to help you open the third eye as well. And I mean this very sincerely. We weren't going to do this, but we're already creating a really good wave, and so you guys are going to be able to perceive this and feel it in your own way. We're going to use one of the capsule phrases. What's a capsule phrase? A capsule phrase is kind of like a mantra, you guys, but it's really a frequency sending device. It's like you could call it kind of like an energetic pill. And the energetic pill is you send it through a phrase. And so we're going to use a phrase today that vibrates and brings light into the upper chakras. And so I'm going to say it to you first. It's going to be our third tone. It goes like this. Avame. It's Avame. I'm going to put it in the chat because this one's really going to help everybody. Avame. And so there we go. Avame. And so here's what we're going to do, guys. Our third tone today, we're going to do Avame. me. And why do we do this? Why do we do this? It helps you bring light into the third eye. It's like pulling apart the curtains and opening up the blinds and bringing new light into the room. Now that we opened up our vagus nerve, this is going to work even better, you guys. I know we're lingering on this, but you're going to have incredible results. If you really want this to work, you can also get ready. I know we're doing all kinds of wild stuff today, you guys. Grab your eyes and just kind of press. You're going to press on your eyes and kind of stretch. I know this is so weird, right? Look, it's Matthew stretching his eyes on a live stream. Pull your skin, pull your eyes. Don't do it too hard. You're not going to give yourself a black eye, but you're going to stretch those eyes. Why do we do this, everyone? It helps just kind of release darkness and energy buildup from around the eyes. A lot of you guys, after multiple days of social media, just taking in the frequencies of the world, everybody gets it. I get it a lot. Darkness around the eyes. You feel like you can't open your eyes all the way. We're going to do Ava Me. And you guys are going to notice just light entering the eyes. It's very reliable. And so you want to keep your eyes open if you're driving, I seek. Thank you for doing it while driving. That's a bold move. I do a lot of that stuff while driving as well, because then you can really let yourself open up your voice and no one's going to look at you in a weird way. If you're like me, well, some of you guys are. I sit here in my little apartment in LA making weird noises all day long, and I can feel the neighbors in the room next to me like react upstairs. It's a very fun thing. And so I hope they're getting some healing out of it. We're going to do one more, you guys. We're going to do Ava Me. I know we're lingering. And so one last time, keep stretching those eyes. Once again, you're just kind of pulling the energy back. If you guys want to take it to the next level, you can even grab that energy and pull it out. So it does have an effect. And so, all right, guys, we're going to do Ava Me together, one unit, one group, one organism. Let all that breath out of your body. Let it all drain out. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. We'll take a deep breath in and Ava Me. Here we go. Let's take that breath in 3, 2, 1. Ava Me. We're going to do that one more time. You can even put a finger on your third eye and one on the back. Take a deep breath in. Ava Me. And when you're done, simply release that energy. It's like little strings that you'll cut. Little strings you'll cut from energy. We're constantly cutting cords as humans. One of the best things you can do is cut those cords. We always retie them, though. That's just the way it goes. Cord cutting is not a permanent thing. In some cases it can be, but we're usually reconnecting. How do you reconnect cords? You just start thinking of people again and emotionally engaging with them in an internal space. But good job, you guys. Let me know how you're doing. You can continue to use Ava Me as a chant. Or as a mantra, just to clear your upper chakras. It has been one of the most reliable capsule phrases in the school of multidimensional intuition. And the work that we've been doing, especially this year, in 2021 alone, has been the most incredible, just an explosion of the world's interest in the work that I'm doing. And on some level, it's been incredible. On other level, it has been also overwhelming. And so, it is absolutely real, though. So coming up, once again, before we give away a couple 3D printed items here, please do go to familyoflight.info and get a live stream ticket. Join us. It's 10% off here today. You can be part of the, I think it's a very brief talk I'm giving on Saturday the 24th, where we're going to be talking about what's really going on in the energy body, what's happening in this ascension process, what chakras are activating, what do we need to know about the meridians? Are there new chakras in the body? Are there new meridians? What's really going on, and how do we use this energy to our advantage to continue the process of empowerment and self-healing during this quote-unquote ascension, or whatever it is that we're doing? And so we're also going to be just giving you guys some tools, giving you guys a couple of things you can take with you. Ava Me is one of them. It is a literal capsule phrase that upon the utterance of such will vibrate the upper chakras. I'm a living example of it. I use these tools literally every day in the work that I do, and things have changed so much on the earth plane for us. And so thanks for hanging out, and thanks for doing this weird process. Gina DeSanta says, feel great, colors and eyes. Absolutely. I do frequency healing on myself and cat. Absolutely. Feel free to use Ava May, if it only if it vibrates with you. Another really helpful mantra or capsule phrase that we use is, oh wow, it literally went right out of my head. Oh, thank you. Very helpful for the spleen chakra. Why do we need to work with our spleen chakra? Because it's holding tremendous amount of emotion. The spleen's one of the easiest clogged up pathways in the body, and it gets clogged with other people's frustration, inexpressed emotions, energy within our body that we don't know what to do with, that gets empathically loaded in there from the world and other people. And so by opening up your spleen, you can create just a return of emotional well-being, even in situations where you feel horrible. And a lot of us right now are under constant onslaught by this world. And one of the things you can do by opening your spleen is you will just notice it's not like your world gets better. It's not like opening your spleen and suddenly all your problems go away. But by draining the emotional buildup from your spleen, it's like your emotional well-being will return. And it's not so much like you feel amazing, but suddenly you just feel better about being you. And I know for some people that's a strange thing to understand, but it's literally real. The spleen and the liver, especially right now, which is one of the things we're going to talk about at this conference in the coming weeks, is that those actually represent organs in the body which are activating at alarming rates. And so to access your spleen and to just drain and reset emotional well-being in the body, you can use the following phrase, da, re, o. Da, re, o. I'm going to write it in the chat. Oops, it didn't go in the chat. Sorry. Here it goes. Da, re, o. No. That is the spleen capsule phrase. It's for the spleen chakra. And the fun thing is, for those of you guys that actually lean into this and use it, you will find that the spleen chakra opens in both the front and the back of the human body. What we are actually doing, at least through my observation, and I think people in pranic healing, the pranic healing modality, have also observed a similar thing, is that we tend to cycle old emotions out the back of the spleen chakra. We tend to pull in new emotions, empathically loaded things, and even things that are within our own body through the front of the spleen chakra. And so you can begin to use directional movement within your energy work in your own healing processes that will allow those things to work a lot better. For some people, it may not work in the same way. One of the things we discover about fourth density energy is everybody gets their own version and everyone has their own method. So many people have heard me say this now. It's probably really old news, but that was one of the first issues for me when I started doing this, is that people would say, just do this, just make a column of light. That's all you do. Just, create a 29D shield, yeah, that's all you do. Just put that shield up. You'll be fine. And as a person who at the time was getting just constantly hit by all kinds of stuff, I mean, it was insane. Those things didn't work for me. People said, yeah, just make this orb of light. That's all you gotta do. Make a orb of light. And I was like, how do you make an orb of light? What do you do? I'll totally do it. Absolutely. But how? I could not figure out how to do it. And so when I started making my own way, when I started allowing myself to exist completely within an element of the internalized inner child that was still living in that world of true magic and true make-believe, I noticed that it changed. People's energy started to change. When I started to create sounds and allowed myself to be totally authentic, something literally shifted. And so anyway, I'm just ranting on and on. The spleen's very helpful. I see some of your questions. Thank you, Gina. She says, musical tones, do, re, mi. I'm sure you understand. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's similar to that. When we were given the capsule phrases in the School of Multidimensional Intuition, it was over the course of me creating coursework that I put together. A lot of it was in 2020 and 2019, in which we did a number of classes on the meridians, on the chakras. We did a timeline creation course. That was one of the first ones I ever did. Which in hindsight, looking back on it, I'm like, oh my Lord. But we have come a long way. And so what happened with the capsule phrases is they were literally given to me. I did not choose them. It wasn't like, I'm going to think of a mantra. It was in the course of doing especially the chakra class. The first chakra class I did, I think this was in summer of 2019. It was like they just showed up, literally showed up. And there was one for each of the chakras. And as I kept looking into them, it was like Spirit would give me another one and another one and another one. And I would test them in the sessions that I would do with people afterward. And I would start to utter these phrases into the human body. And in certain cases, I noticed that people would bust into tears. Other people would have a totally different reaction. Other people, they would just feel very calm. And what it showed me was that we were creating a vibratory wavelength of energy that had the ability to affect the human body. And so that was when I started looking into just more deeply some of the historical understandings of scalar wave technology and what it actually was. I was already using the word, scalar toning at the time, but when I discovered that it was possible to create this sort of vibrational current within the human body that was able to span, across space and time in any distance without losing strength or, any of the integrity of the frequency, I realized that that's what we were doing. It was a form of scalar energy transference. And so anyway, that was a little bit about how the capsule phrases came to be. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your comments and for being a part of these strange woo-woo things that we do on this channel. Awesome. Thank you. Later on, you guys, just by learning about your vagus nerve, you are going to help it open up. You are going to change your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, and you will always know this. A lot of people know this by now, but just by singing, you will be strengthening your vagal tone. And especially for those of you guys that want to open up your intuitive abilities, it will help. Okay, so we have been here for a while, and we're going to give away a couple items. Okay, all right, you guys. This is the time. If you want to be a part of this drawing, we're going to give away this Chichen Itza pyramid here. I'm going to talk for roughly 30 seconds. Please put your names in the chat if you want to be in this drawing right now. Please put your name in the chat. This is an on-the-fly drawing. In the past, I used to have people share the video, then we would come back and check them out. Please do subscribe to this channel. If you're not subscribed to this channel, just please ask that you subscribe. I'm not one of those people that courts followers. I really don't. For those of you guys that notice my YouTube channel, you'll notice I don't even engage with comments. We do the engagement live. And so sorry for that. In the future, we're going to talk more and just engage with the public. But for now, we're doing an on-the-fly drawing, a giveaway. And so what is this? This is a 3D printed pyramid that I created on a Creality Ender 3 version 2 3D printer. And it's a glow-in-the-dark. It's made of glow-in-the-dark PLA Plus, made by a company called Duramic. And I've just been using it to create some really cool glow-in-the-dark items. It does glow rather brightly. It's green. And so we're going to be selling these at the Family of Light gathering, not the Chichen Itza pyramids. This is literally the only one in existence. So somebody's going to receive the literal only one. It's kind of a prototype. And honestly, it is probably one of the cleanest prototype testers that I've used. I know my camera and the sort of resolution on the screen is going to be horrible, you guys. You probably won't really be able to see this, but it's a really good one. And so, all right, Chichen Itza pyramid. We're going to give it a couple more seconds. If you want to be in the drawing, all you got to do, please, you can just subscribe. If you've already subscribed, perfect. We're going to pull a name. We're going to pull a name. And yes, I will cover the postage. It's not that much. They're super light. Don't worry. If you live in another country, that might be a problem. So hopefully you don't live in Madagascar or something. I'm going to give it a couple more moments. Anyone else wants to put their name in the chat? We're going to roll through. There's a lot of people here for once, so thanks for hanging out. And let's do a giveaway. Here we go. Thanks, everybody. All right, I'm going to take it up from... This is going to be really, really fun, you guys. This is going to be totally random. Here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to keep scrolling, and I'm going to put my finger on one of these names. We do not know who it is. For those of you guys that are watching, you can see my eyes are closed. I literally do not know. This is the most random way we're going to do it on the live stream. I have all, here we go. And 1, 2, 3. Who is it on? Indigo 1111. Armel Creamer. Boom. Indigo 1111. Armel Creamer. I hope you're in the US. Tell me you're in the US. Indigo 1111. Thank you. Armel Creamer. Thanks for being on this random live stream. You have won the Chichen Itza glow-in-the-dark pyramid. It's actually a pretty good one. In my opinion, that's the one I would have got just because I have it over here and I'm like, that's the best one. Awesome. Okay. Now we are going to do another drawing for, we're going to do a giveaway for, this is one of the glow-in-the-dark mini pyramids. I'm going to show you guys the inside. It's really rough, but it actually comes with a bottom. There's a little, here, I'll show you one of the bottoms. And so, it's actually a little container, you guys. So it's a little pyramid container. Here's the cheesy thing. Whoever wins this one, it will be painted. It will have been hand painted just for continuity's sake. It's a prototype, and we wanted to test how well they looked while they were glowing if we filled in the little symbols. And so I want to let you know, whoever receives this one, it looks a little amateur, okay? But it is a one-of-a-kind. Just the painting of the pyramids. It was a test. Didn't really come together as well. Didn't look too professional. If you guys know me, you know I'm one of those people. I would never bring a half-assed, poorly finished thing out. And so, you know, we're just going to give them away. And so let's give away one of these little pyramids. If anyone here has seen the television show or movie, I guess Stargate, this is a model of a pyramid ship from Stargate. I actually did not see it. I was not in the generation that watched Stargate. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, so it's a ship from Stargate. Oh, thank you, Indigo 1111. I'm so sorry. I wish I could send that to you. I don't know how we're gonna do it in Europe. Oh my goodness. And so that's okay. No worries. We're gonna give that away again, I guess, as well. So somebody in the US that I can send this to. I feel horrible. How much is postage to the UK? Send me a message. Indigo, if you really want it, send me a message and I will send you one, as long as it's not some kind of crazy fee. Because I think I tried to send something to I think it was France 2 years ago, and it was like $49 to send this little box, and I was like, what? You know, like what? Why? So anyway, we're gonna do another giveaway for a mini pyramid box. Yes, you can put your weed in it. Yes, you can put your crystal in it. Yeah, so that was my idea when I wanted to sell them. I was like, yeah, you could put something in. All right, we're going to do another giveaway. Thanks, everybody. This is the mini pyramid. I'm going to do this finger on the screen again. So we literally do not know. We have no idea. I'm going to close my eyes, everybody. Hurry up. Put your names in the chat. Quick, do it. Well, there's about a 20-second delay. So by the time some of you guys get your name in the chat, it's going to be too late. Here we go. Okay, closing my eyes. Hope you're in the US. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh, wow. Interesting. Whoa, Cassandra Fileski. Boom. Nice. Cassandra Fileski, you win a mini pyramid. Congratulations. Good to see you. Thank you, Cassandra. We will need your address. Oh, I love it. Thank you. Okay, all right. That's a mini pyramid. We're running out of time, you guys. My wife is going to do a process in this room in a few minutes, so we're going to have to get out of here. In the coming moments, we're going to give away another one of the mini pyramids, you guys. So I'll show you the other one. I don't have the bottom with it, so I'm going to use the bottom from the other one. And so, okay, here's the thing about this one, you guys. Yes, this is a prototype as well, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Seriously, I am a literal perfectionist. This one has a warped edge. You're going to see a little bit of it on screen. You can see how the edges curl up. And so I want to let you guys know, this is a prototype. It's got a little bit of warping, but it's a very cool glow-in-the-dark container. And so this one's going to be gold. The lettering will be gold. And so we will be sending that to the other person. So Cassandra Fileski's got the silver pyramid. Let's do another drawing. This is the gold pyramid. I want to say straight up, full disclosure, the gold pyramid's a little rough. It's a little rough. I'm telling you now. It's good. You know, it was a high. I printed it at too high of a temperature, so it kind of curled up. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're good. I hope you're in the U.S. Whoever wins this. And so you guys can see my eyes are closed. I'm putting my finger on the screen. We don't know who's going to arise. Who's it going to be? 3, 2, 1. Needs B. Boom. Needs B. I remember your name. Hello, once again. I hope, oh, Needs B, I pray that you're in the U.S. Tell me you're in the U.S. I think if you're in Canada, I can still send it to you. That's not too bad. Needs B, I think we're okay on that one. You think you need to be. You win a mini pyramid. And finally, okay, guys, please remember who won because I'm already forgetting and I'm going to need you to message me. Message me. We have Cassandra. We have Needs B. Okay, all right, everybody. The final chapter of the giveaway. This is a crystal. It's actually a glow-in-the-dark PLA Plus crystal skull. But like I said earlier, I know it's been a long live stream today, you guys. Some of you guys saw this. Maybe I shouldn't have printed it. It was an actual 3D scan from a human skull. And so it's really cool. It's glow-in-the-dark. It is also very rough. It won't focus on the screen, you guys. It is very rough. I'm going to clean it up. The skull part printed really well, but the jaw and everything was really small. And so hopefully some of you guys can see it. You know how when you try to shove something in front of the screen, it just blurs out, but here we'll get a perspective. I'll try to get it the same size as my head. But yeah, it's literally there. And so, okay, final drawing. Final drawing. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm going to give you about 10 seconds. We're going to do one more drawing for the crystal skull. Just so you know, if you would like to purchase these items, we are going to be bringing them to the Family of Light gathering. So first time, I do not know if we will have them in other places because honestly, I do not know if anybody in the world wants them. I have a weird issue against merchandising. So I'm like, I guess we're going to bring these. All right, here we go. Crystal skull, guys. I'm going to close my eyes and we're going to roll down the list. Here we go. May the odds be ever in your favor. Thank you, everyone, for participating on this live stream today. The winner of the glow-in-the-dark crystal skull. Oh, it's Gina DeSantis. Hello, Gina DeSantis. I hope you want a glow-in-the-dark crystal skull that was 3D printed because you just won. Okay, so we got Gina DeSantis. Okay, and I have received a message in the background. Yes, okay, I'm so sorry. For those of you guys in the UK, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. We have been informed it is rather large postage. Wow, I feel horrible about that. I'm really sorry. We're going to have to give this away to just another person. If you're in the UK, Indigo, if you want to pay for posting, message me and I'll print you one personally and literally send it to you. I swear to God I will. I mean that very sincerely, Indigo. And so for everyone else, that way we can get this one out right away. This is for the Chichen Itza Pyramid. It was the first one that we gave away. It got a little awkward. I feel bad. So if you really want it, I mean this very sincerely, message me. We'll send it out. Not everyone cares, though. Everyone, some people are like, yeah, whatever. So this is glow in the dark, PLA Plus. We're going to do one last drawing. Oh, totally. Absolutely, Indigo. Very, very sincerely. I hate being one of those people. To me, that's a shitty move to be like, here you go. Oh, sorry. Damn. Sorry about that. I mean, to me, that's a weird thing. Maybe because people did that to me before where I'm like, what? And so I'll send you one. Don't worry. It only takes 12 hours to print each one. And actually, that's kind of short, honestly. For some of them, when you print with greater detail, it goes even longer. Case in point, try printing a gun. Try printing a 3D printed firearm and see how well that goes. Yes, I just said that on my live stream. One of the most fantastic things you could possibly do right now is learn about 3D printing firearms. Absolutely. I think it's one of the most important things we can learn to do for our personal freedom as Americans. Many people here will not agree with that statement on this live stream, but little by little, over the years, we will be slowly exposing ourselves on this channel. And I am a really, really big believer in the American Second Amendment. I think it is absolutely one of the most important rights that we have as Americans. And I think if there is any one right that we need to maintain and hold on to in this country, it is our Second Amendment right. And so for those of you guys that are interested in learning more about 3D printing, you can go to a website called Control Pew. Control Pew. I'm going to put that in the chat as well. So, boom. Check it out, everybody. For those of you guys that are bold and you just want to learn about what's really going on in this world and learn ways in which you can empower yourself and just take your freedom back as an American and an individual, the technology is available. It is all there. So I pray you'll check it out. In the meantime, we have some really cool things that we're going to give away. Did we give away the crystal skull yet? Did we do the crystal skull? I think we gave it to somebody. Does everybody know who won? Everybody knows who won. Let me know if there's any other questions. Excellent. Gina DeSantis. We got Cassandra. We have Neats B. Did we do the Chichen Itza one? I don't know. Did we? I don't think we did. I feel like we're going to give away the last pyramid. There it is. Okay. Did we do the last pyramid? I don't think so. Here we go. Final drawing, you guys. Here it comes. My eyes are closed. Final drawing. Oh, here we go. Eternal Dreamer. Hello, Eternal Dreamer. You have won a mini pyramid. Eternal Dreamer. I hope you're in the U.S. If you're not, you might have to pay for postage. If you pay for postage, I will send you this. We're also going to send one to Indigo. In the meantime, I love you guys. We have a couple more moments left if you have any questions before we get out of here. My wife's actually going to do a past life regression in a few minutes in this very room. So we're going to roll out of here. Yes, Eternal Dreamer, contact me on my website at rememberyourmission.com. Also, for anyone else who won, please do contact me on my website, rememberyourmission.com. Just send me a thing. Say, hey, I was one of the people that won. And we will make it happen. Because I promise you, I'll forget. There's a weird stream of consciousness that happens in live streams, and it just kind of goes away. So yeah, get a hold of me. We'll make it happen. In the meantime, you guys, check us out, familyoflight.info, coming up in 2 weeks. Check it out. Last thing before we go, probably one of the most important things, Saturday of next week, myself and Eric Rains. Some of you guys know Eric Rains. He has been a big part of my awakening process and a really good associate and a friend in the strange multidimensional realm. We are going to be doing a semi-private, semi-public event. It is on Saturday, July 17th at 1 p.m. You can join the exclusive part of this discussion and interview with Eric at our Patreon group. It is called the Blue Flame Collective. Hello, everyone in the Patreon group. I was meaning to talk about it earlier, but it took us an hour and a half to get there. We are doing just a really cool semi-private event with Eric in the Patreon group on Saturday, July 17th at 1 p.m., in which we're going to be having a no-holds-barred Ask Me Anything. What's it really like being a professional intuitive energy worker or working with people all over the world on a professional level? We're going to be talking about just the truth. What's it like? How does it work? What do we need to know? And then after that, after about a half an hour of that, we're going to go live on YouTube once again for everybody in the world. And we're just going to be doing a real quick healing process. Eric's going to be giving some of his energy and his processes, and I'm going to be doing a thing as well. It'll be pretty short. It's not going to be a super long, lingering thing. It's just me and Eric. And it's free for the collective. If you want to be part of the uncensored part, ahead of time, we're going to be talking about some things that I can't really post on YouTube. You can guess what they are, operating systems and all sorts of things. And so we're going to be talking about I'll just say it, we're going to talk about real shit. So if you want to be part of the real discussion, you can join us on Patreon at the Blue Flame Collective. And if you want to just join the free part and just come in for some healing, you can join us about 1:30 p.m. next Saturday, the 17th, right here on YouTube. So at the School of Multidimensional Intuition. In the meantime, I love you guys. We're also going to be talking about Camp Disclosure. That's next up on the list. That's coming up August 26th through 30th. And so me and Eric are going to be talking at length about some Camp Disclosure stuff, about what we're going to be bringing there. But today's all about Family of Light. And so I pray everyone here, it's coming up in 2 weeks. Go to familyoflight.info, get a 10% discount, join the live stream. You can do it from anywhere in the world. I'll say this, and some people will get annoyed before we run out the door. We're going to be live streaming my talk from Family of Light free to our Patreon group. So if you just want to watch our part, you can join us on Patreon as well. They probably won't let me live stream anything else, so, you know, but it makes sense. But anyway, join us. We'll see you next Saturday, the 17th. In the meantime, please just continue using those mantras, those phrases in whatever way you are called. If you want an item today, please message me on Facebook or my website so I can get that out to you before we go to Sedona in the coming 2 weeks. And I can send this stuff out in the coming weeks. So we're going to do more giveaways if you guys actually like these things. I got a ton of little random things that I printed around here that I got to get rid of, and I don't want to throw them away. So we're going to be giving more stuff away. I love you guys. My website is rememberyourmission.com. And so I'm going to put it in the website. You can also book a session there. You can book a private reading. You can book an energy clearing session. You can even take part in our 30-day spirit detox program involving Rife treatments and remote Rife therapy. It's all there available on the website. In the meantime, I love you guys, and I actually have to get out of here. So we'll see you in the coming weeks. A Family of Light gathering. Cool. In the meantime, I love you.